Need anything to help you find your way around in the dark. God knows how many illegitimate children you fathered. To Father Desbras, I bequeath $10,000 for your home for wayward boys. If they weren't wayward when they got there, they were wayward when they left.
So, like I was saying, I'm sorry, 11 years after I was crowned Miss Louisiana.
So that makes you old.
On to February, honey.
Sorry, darling.
Once a beauty queen, always a beauty queen. On February 13th, Brandon left our house to meet his brother, Bradley, and had some skeleton crew for final run before the race.
I remember Daddy was wearing a bright yellow slicker. She had a rain hood, and he was wearing boots. They're just cold. So cold! Thanks, Benny.
And he told me to pick him up later that afternoon. And we saw him again.
Oh, it's so sad. Thank you, Tony.
Guys, I'm sorry. It's very emotional for me. Thought I was going to get more money than this. Tony told me he returned to pick up Brandon at noon, but the yacht did not return. By 3, we both reported to the club steward that we suspected a problem.
Thank you.
Funny how things happen. You never touched me again after that day, Bradley. I was so hurt. Then, just as I thought things were working out between us for us, he shows up tonight with a new wife. Oh. My effort! Find happiness again! Except in the bottom of a bottle!
Probably not. Stick with it.
Forrest,
Oh, shut up, Mona. I was never really serious about you. I told you from the beginning this was not about love. I only wanted you for your body. Now enough.
Oh, wonderful, Miss Louisiana.
On Monday morning, following the disappearance of the dove, I received a handwritten codicil to Brandon's will. I opened it and recognized the handwriting as Brandon's, and I noticed it was postmarked February 13th, the day Brandon disappeared.
at the post office, and we met around 4:30 at the day of Brandon's disappearance. Well, when I tried to tell her about the missing yacht, she had already heard about the missing yacht. How would she know?
Already.
Tony the chauffeur served thrice years in prison.
Trace would be watching the marriage.
3
Thank you.
for aggravated assault and battery. He is a martial arts expert.
So in other words, Ray could have ripped Brandon's ass and then put him in.
C.
Other?
2 days before Brandon's disappearance, I received an anonymous letter warning me not to step foot on the soil of Dove. I am superstitious, and that night I dreamed that I went down to the docks very early to check on everything. From the dock, I saw a figure, dressed in black, coming out of the hull. The figure jumped overboard onto a dinghy and rowed across the bay. I had a very bad feeling about this and decided not to go out that day. When the rest of the crew came by to get me on the morning of February 13th, 1921, I told them that I had the flu. I've never gotten over my guilt for not going or not warning the others.
Sneaked in one night, discovered boxes and boxes of explosives. There were some workers telling about how the next day the explosives were brought on a yacht with Captain Conrad. When they were out of sight of land, he and special crew he had would meet up with another yacht and exchange the explosive for drugs. The other ship was from South America. I also discovered in the warehouse Rika's love nest he shares with Veronica. You give her up, Rico, or I'll divorce you.
Oh.
And I'll give you all the kids. 8 kids, Rico. All under 10. See how Veronica will like that.
Oh.
I love it.
I love it that breaks. Ladies, is that not gorgeous?
Gorgeous.
I'm sorry, I just had water in my mouth, Michelle. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be embarrassed. It's just
It's Peterbilt.
I like Peter Billy, you know. I like them, Michelle. If they were way worried when they got there, they were way worried when they left for there. Stand up, tell us what you know as if we give a shit.
One of the boxes
Not so.
his explosive piece in spectrum.
As if you believe a damn thing you have to say for them. Virginia! Where is Virginia, the wife of Forrest? Virginia? Oh, there you are, darling. Congratulations, Virginia.
There's $150 missing that I'd like to discuss. But one thing I do have to say, and to you, Forrest, is this. Good Lord, man, haven't you told her? Or have you not told her? Forrest, you must be a real gentleman, and that's very admirable. But you may be having his baby, Virginia. It's not his. No, you see, I've known Forrest since Forrest was a very young man. We go way back. And Forrest, you might as well tell her, when you were very young, what was it you got? The mumps? What did the doctors tell you? No kids in your future. Leastwise, not by you. But I'll tell you what I do know. I bet the baby is Commodore Conrad.
Really?
That was who you were seeing before Forrest, wasn't it, Virginia?
Of course not, Whoopsie Whoopsie. I've never seen her husband in my life. And I've certainly never had an affair with him. How dare she say those things? Oh, Thornton, please take me away from these hateful, mean, nasty, horrible people.
Oh, they are so in love. It's so refreshing.
I can tell you a funny story. Just before the last yacht was launched, Buffy came in and was almost demanding of Brandon that he name this yacht after her. And he funnily, she smiled and said, "Of course, dear, I'll do that." She was very pleased. A week later, when we launched that last yacht, he toasted to the yacht and said, "I named thee after my loving, devoted wife. I named thee the Soiled Dove." She was furious and just stormed off the dock.
Before Brandon's disappearance, I saw them once down at the docks. They didn't see me. Buffy and Chick were coming down the gangplank from the Soiled Dove. They were laughing, and I heard Buffy say, "Well, now Brandon can truly call that damned boat the Soiled Dove."
The red spot. And he was asking Brandon for a loan for his gambling debt. Brandon refused, and then Chick left my restaurant furious.
Thank you, please. Tony Gold.
Penelope told me that she knew that her father was having an affair with someone before he disappeared. She overheard a telephone conversation he was having once. She said Brandon told her that, "I love you. Just hang on. We'll be together soon." Or something like that.
Thank you, Tony. Inga Stevenson.
Last winter, Buffy suffered 2 broken ribs when Penelope accidentally pushed her down the stairs during an argument. What a beach of a daughter, right? Veronica de Castro.
I found out through friends of mine that Egg was having an affair with Reyes before he met Buffy. When Reyes came to pass Kristen Bay to purchase a yacht, Egg introduced him to Buffy. Reyes found out how much money Buffy was going to inherit and dropped Egg. Except he didn't really drop her. I saw them together at the little inn in Pass Christian Bay last week. They were picking up a room key.
Thank you, Veronica. Bobby Frank. Where's Bobby? There you are, darling. Bobby.
Come on.
In a drunken passion, I had an affair with Chick. Well, it lasted 3 weeks. But one morning while I was snooping around in his things while he slept, I found several checks to Chick from Buffy. I asked her about this, confronted her, and she said it was none of my business.
Now, why would the buffet, the late buffet, write a shicky-dicky, some chicks?
That's a given.
Bridget Hawk.
Oh, yeah. Forrest kind of falling out with Mona a while ago was turned to Buffy. I thought Mona would kill her when she found out. By the way, Mona, haven't you been wondering about Virginia Lawn and why Forrest married her so quickly? You see, last year my sources tell me that while Forrest was in New York on business for the Hawk family yacht, he met Virginia through friends. They had an affair while he was also sleeping with you. And what about the baby she is having? Forrest thinks it's his. Well, it's not. It's Captain Conrad. Oh! She's been sleeping with him for years.
Dirty bastard.
But she knows he's not good at paying child support.
Oh, she's not going to tell
Just face it, I'm all your daddy.
You are not mine.
You're not my father.
Sometimes, you know, these boys have to be put in their place. Excuse me, Captain Dirty Bastard, but I'm not attracted to you or your ways in any way. So you should sit like a good boy with your hands in your laps and pray that I be nice to you. Skippy dippy, darling, we are back to you.
Captain Gary Conrad has lots of alimony and child support to pay. To supplement his income, he was stealing yacht designs from Hawk, selling them to competitors. Brandon had found this out just before the regatta and told him after the race to clear out his things for good.
Looking at fire, he's at.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Skippy Dippy. I never thought you could be quite this useless. Chick.
Yeah,
Chicky
absolutely.
Dicky.
Let me tell you something about Fiona. She is a fantastic gal, runs a fantastic restaurant, and she runs the best girls in Biloxi.
Oh.
And let me know you why. Let me know you why. Let me tell you why. I can't speak English all the time very well. Because I supply the condoms for free.
Is that why you're always
Get a little something in return, don't I? Huh? You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Diggy.
A gentleman would keep his mouth shut.
That's not just
I mean, Fiona, am I wrong to say will no longer be receiving such services?
she'll be getting the
What are you talking about?
Well, I can't believe my name. Thank you. Countess, darling.
I know that my husband has he put two of Fiona's ladies in the hospital. Fiona threatened to tell Rico, who happened to be her silent partner. We all know that Rico has silent partners. Sorry, we all know that.
Early custom.
Dealing with these problems. I believe that they call it. Oh, they didn't have that in 1922.
We all know about it.
So go ahead and above it. School of Discipline.
Let the brain above it, School of Discipline.
Timeless.
Isn't it all? Timeless. Thank you, Countess. Lady Egg, Cartwright.
You once told me that you once long ago, while visiting Buffy, that you had an affair with Bradley.
What? He wasn't married. Who cares?
You both fell in love, and at the next year, while you returned, Bradley asked you to marry him. And after he divorced Mona, then Brandon disappeared, and Bradley never spoke to you personally again. You confronted him about this, and he acted like you had no idea you were talking about.
Oh, how weird. I know it wasn't you, Bradley, you egg.
Well, years ago, Veronica DeCastro and Bradley Hawk had a court affair. They were just kids. Veronica got pregnant, told Bradley. He panicked. Because he didn't want to marry a girl on the wrong side of the tracks. He gave Veronica a lot of money, ran off and married Mona, to whom he was engaged. His father, Desbros, placed the baby up for adoption with Matthews, a childless couple. Skip Matthews is Skip Matthews is really the son of Veronica and Bradley Hawk. Exactly what I just said.
Darlings, let's hope to God they have not consummated their relationship.
Well, it doesn't look good.
Thank you, Dr. Michelle, Victoria. Listen up, darlings, there may be more, we never know.
Haven't you wondered how Chip came up with nearly the exact ship design, building designs as Hawks in the last few years?
Oh, yeah.
And I think my record, Captain over here, has been selling his design.
I can see the Dr. Bastier doing that, Michelle. Rico Toledo.
One night, Alistair got drunk and told me that a few months after Penelope was born, Buffy got pregnant again. She and I had a thing going on. You know what I mean. Thank God she wasn't pregnant. That baby might have been mine.
Oh, shit. So you're running one more kid.
Barbara Kennedy.
I remember the incident well. Buffy and Brandon got into a fight. She told him everything about Rico. The next day, Brandon went in to see Alistair to be treated. He had a black eye and needed some stitches over the eyebrow. Buffy had the mean right hook.
As a good lady should.
Kitty, darling. Kitty, we are back to you.
Ingrid told me that when she was a nude model in Paris, she met a young seminary student on holiday from the Vatican. After 2 days of wonderful picnics by the Seine, walks under the Eiffel Tower and wandering through the Louvre, they consummated their love. The next day, when Inga awoke, Michael Peter Patrick was gone. I think Michael Peter Patrick is our good priest, Father Desmond.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Thank you, Timmy. Be there, darling. Be there. Be there.
Well, if it's motive we're looking for, then we have no further to look than Brandon's own nephew. Isn't that right, Colton? Or is it just coincidence that you were arguing with Brandon just a few days before he went missing? Brandon told me that argument had to do with you and your embezzlement of the Hawk Company. And now, just days after, or before the will is being read, you show up again, and with the woman that Brandon warned you about. Plus, Chick told me he's seen you at some really serious gambling games.
Thank you, Eddie there. Miss Lillian O'Toole. Lillian.
Okay, well, Lorraine's mother was Buffy's maid. Buffy was very mean to Lorraine's mother and once slapped her. Lorraine's mother died of a sudden heart attack after Buffy had been screaming at her. Lorraine blames Buffy for her mother's death, really.
Oh, that's not very good. Thank you, Lillian. Charles, such please.
Speaking of Captain Conrad, I heard an old story. Haven't you all wondered why Bridget left the company? Left the company just as soon as she turned 18? When Bridget was 17, Captain Conrad,
The dirty bastard!
got drunk at one of Buffy's parties. He found Bridget out by the pool house.
No.
Yes. And tried to seduce her.
Dirty bastard.
Dirty bastard!
When she refused, he got pretty rough and tore her dress. I know, because I found Bridget out by the pool right after it happened.
Thank you, Charles. Miss Easy Wingate.
Well, if you think Captain Conrad has he is the undisputed dwarf tosser in Paris. I know because I've seen him there. That's right, during my last trip to Paris, I went slumming in the bars with friends. He is in the dwarf tossing racket. He goes around to bars making wagers in the dwarf tossing racket. Well, they banned dwarf tossing in Paris last year. Is Klaus out of money, Katrina? How are you planning on starting up that beauty spa without any money?
Now you see why I do not regularly invite my sisters to such gatherings. I would like to encourage you all to look up dwarf tossing on my newly founded internet tomorrow morning. It was a real thing, as appalling as it sounds, but it's when they did in fact ban dwarf tossing, the dwarfs were the most successful. They were making in the 40s, I believe, upwards of 6 figures a year being tossed around in the bar. Right? Who doesn't want to be short and Klaus, if you would please tell us about these.
That's a lie. Are you people going to believe this lunatic?
Of course not. Runs a lobotomy technique we've been doing at my clinic. You're a perfect candidate. Anger management doesn't work on everyone. Just look at Penelope. Her mother has signed her up for a frontal
Okay, Chip, you putting that one forward?
What is it?
Who killed Bucky?
Are you going to be this motion?
I don't know. Which one are we going with? What? Who are we saying?
Who wanted to kill
We think Rico was complicit with Buffy. Is that what we're thinking?
Buffy say you don't know why.
Who do we think is actually dead?
Don't know why.
Buffy's definitely dead. Do we think Brandon or Bradley is dead?
Like, I don't get in that conspiracy stuff.
now we're back to square one.
I'm thinking the original guy that we think is dead.
What if Brandon actually is dead?
Yeah.
The only proof we have of a death is a disappearance. That's all
Buffy
we have.
conspired with Ice Pick to kill Brandon on the ship,
And then
Ice Pick killed her because he was afraid something was going to get out. But why? What motive would she have?
There was concern that there would be more, and Bradley offered to take Brandon's place on the boat. That is something we had in common with the ladies' theory. So we believe they swapped places, and that Bradley was on the boat that went missing. We're not entirely sure whether that boat actually sank or not. Assuming they found the explosives, Bradley could still be alive and in hiding somewhere to support Brandon's plan for finding out